Hey, what's up? Sometimes things don't always go as you plan. You have you have certain expectation, and a lot of times it doesn't quite work out the way you expect it to do. You make a business plan, you take action, and then you expect a result, and you get something else. And a lot of times it's not really favorable, or sometimes it's bad, just bad results sometimes. And sometimes it's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes it's things that you can't control. But what you can control is your action to it. My name is Jay Siri from Demand Prosperity. And today's tip is how to turn bad things into good. So in other words, when bad things happen, you could look. There's a lot of different ways you can respond to it. I mean, you could quit. You could take it as something bad happening to you. You can let it discourage you, or you can learn from it. You could adapt, or you could sometimes it could even lead to something even better. One example is Colonel Sanders, and you probably heard this story before, but Colonel Sanders used to have a chicken restaurant, and they they tore down his restaurant because they want to build a freeway over it. Now, most people, if that happened, they would have just gave up and quit. And I think he was like in his 70s or something at the time, so he was older. So they figured, well, I'm already, I'm too old to do something else. So, but instead, what he did was he took his recipe and went and sold it, and that's how with KFC. So even though something bad happened to him, it turned out to be something great. So if they had never tore down his restaurant, or if he had never lost his original restaurant, he never would have, more likely never would have came up with KFC. So another example is when you, like if you're doing marketing. So if you're marketing a product, you set up your campaign, and a lot of times, probably most of the time when you first start it, you're not gonna have the results you want. Sometimes you might even have bad results, but instead of looking at it as bad results, or I didn't it didn't work out the way I wanted to. Another way to look at it is information. Okay, so now I know this doesn't work. So you can look at it and get information about your target customer, and you can actually use that to learn more about who you're marketing to, more about who you're targeting, and maybe to change the targeting or change your marketing and help you create your customer avatar, which is basically a fictitious person that you think about when you make your marketing. So just about anything, no matter what you're doing, it's always different ways of looking at things that happen and different ways of responding. So that's my tip for today. I'll talk to you again soon. To Jay Siri from Demand Prosperity.